Hello, and welcome to JadeCon Gaming Presents the Observatory. My name is Bob, and this is the 55th session of the 5th edition Shadow Kingdom Dungeons & Dragons campaign. We're joined here today by Austin as Mary, Ryan as Mother June, Adam as Herr Wolfgang, and Nick as Maribel. We're going to pick up where we left off, which was at Mary's evening shenanigans. What are you doing this evening, Mary?
I am going to continue trolling the Blue Bounce Blaze District to see if I can get any, just see what they're doing.
Okay.
See if we hit them at all, because I got nothing last time.
So are you just going through looking, or are you actually investigating?
No, I will not take upon myself any level of risk.
Okay.
So I am just sort of glancing around really passively, not going through any shady corridors.
Okay.
Make a perception check.
That's right. You're about to make a perception check.
Still have to roll.
5.
Okay.
Good job being low risk. You done for?
Should we stop him? Nah, he's harmless. What if he sees something? He won't.
He ain't seeing nothing. Okay. So that's how you spend your evening. So we will. You don't gain any new information.
Yeah.
With the 5. So sorry. So you all make it back. You make it back, and then we can go to the Tuesday morning meeting.
That was quick.
Well.
Mine's even or odd, so.
Yeah. Well or well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's an 8 and an 18.
Okay. So, morning meeting. It is Tuesday morning, 9 o'clock, which is your standard meeting time. So, you walk in and everything is set up as per usual. I believe... Oh, except when you walk into the morning meeting, Doomstayer has Anders sitting next to him.
That was his helper?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Anders Reed.
Yep. Anders Reed's the guy that we got to work with Doomstayer.
Yeah, he's Goliath that you recruited is a nice way of saying what you did to that poor man.
Allowed him to live.
Yes.
Allowed him to live and come into a way better position than his old one.
Yep.
But yeah, he's recruited from Gustav's boys, the kitchen gang.
Same with probably all of our other wizard boys. They're all Slumites, at least.
Slumites. Slummians?
I like the Slumites.
Slum dogs.
They're the pores?
The pores also work.
So as you walk in and get seated, Spartacus slides a box over to you, Mother June, as requested.
Mm.
And you open it up, and there's a pair of gauntlets in it that are like large, bulky boys. They look like, they're large gauntlets. They're not delicate, they're not feminine, but they're not like completely unreasonable.
No.
But however, from how you've described your dress, it is clear that you are wearing gauntlets underneath it, as well as that it comes up over your hands. So you're now wearing big, bulky, clearly magical gauntlets.
Yep.
So yeah, you now have once you attune, strength of 19.
I'll do that after the meeting.
Okay. I mean, you're sitting there for at least an hour during a meeting. It's a long. It counts as a short rest. You can do it during. Like, it's not terribly difficult. That's all I'm saying is that.
No. Yeah, I can throw them on.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You're good to go, as it were.
It's great. We got Anders and Doomstayer. Say they'll be working on training up the new wizarding recruits.
Does Anders helping him get it any faster, or are we just going to have Anders go back to making weapons or
I think
money?
it's keeping it from disrupting too much else.
Yeah, it makes it so it doesn't disrupt your
production.
production. Yes.
Yeah, so him going back to making us money.
No, next thing on his list was the Tangler grenade things.
Mm-hmm. So, are you going to have Anders and Doomstair working on training and making the Tangler grenades?
Yeah. So that'll be their to-do list.
Well, that is the wrong button. I need to look. Oh, okay. So it's an item already.
Yeah.
How much gold per?
Doesn't list.
Mm.
Yeah, it's from Dungeon of the Mad Mage.
Okay, I'm gonna do a wee bit of research.
Alright.
So you guys have your meeting. I'll have an ear open to that, and I need to look up something.
It's like building up my birdhouse for new bird recruits I'm gonna do.
Okay. Do you need anything for that?
Nah, I can get lumber and stuff.
Alright. But yeah, I think that'd be a good idea for you to start recruiting in a murder.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
So we did at least have them for spies and surveillance.
Get it?
Yeah, I'm really Chris.
I do tell Spartacus the description of the necromancer in case he heads by the Red Horse,
Okay.
because I don't plan to wait there again, because it's been 2 days. But might as well leave someone who knows.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Unkindness and murder.
Yeah, unkindness.
Oh, you also have another satchel from Spartacus, and in it is a bag and two. There's a bag of holding, and inside the bag of holding is 2 sending stones, which was also set to get you today.
And then the 2 Marys get their own sending stone.
I think that should also be returning ours, because ours had to be linked in, but yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But yeah. We now all have sending stones again.
Hooray!
Hey, it's like we're back to where we started.
Okay, now you just need to go rob a blacksmith real quick.
Can we do the same one? I think we can take him now.
I've sat there and spent like a week or more in games scouting that one blacksmith. Like, it's just at this point not worth it. Because I kept not getting all the information.
It's not my fault.
And yet it is.
Disagree.
We blame you.
That's fine. You can be wrong.
Well, it's like we got a bag of holding now, and does anybody have a particular use for it at the moment?
I can use it to carry lumber today, but besides that,
Yeah, no.
So you can take it for that. That's
Mhm.
fine. Something to Jake, since he's still going in and seeing who he can pull out as far as talented individuals from the slums that would be willing to work for us. As far as Jake, I want him to, if we get any more recruits, to send them my way.
Okay, so you want Jake to send you...
If he gets more recruits that'll be new gang members, I want him to send them to me for training. And question, if I want to train paladins, would I need Jake's help in order to get them their martial training?
it would be 2 weeks under Jake and then 2 weeks under you.
Okay.
And you know when he sends you recruits, you can't just... These don't get immediately added to the class that you're having unless they're recruited today and set today. Like,
Right.
so any recruits he makes like Wednesday can't be added.
Because they've already missed the class.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because otherwise you're just going to be putting people these numbers are 1 day off of their training from these numbers.
Mm.
And that would be annoying for me to keep track of, and I don't want to.
Right.
Well, yeah, it's clearly a curriculum where you have to know what happened on day 1, or you're not going to understand day 2.
Yeah,
You're teaching them magic.
They didn't get a syllabus, so...
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna need to look up something else.
I mean, that's fine. If he gets for new recruits, then I'll probably have them train under him for their first 2 weeks, and then...
I mean, you can absolutely do that, where you just...
Yeah. Train them halfway, and then once I get finished with that, then I'll try to split my time. By that time, at least, Fleetfoot will be, fully trained.
Okay, so what I've been doing is looking through other consumable items that, and kind of checking by DC. So the Tanglefoot bags have a 15 DC Dex and a 20 DC Athletics to get out of if you fail your Dex check. The things that I'm finding with 15 DC, not necessarily Dex, but like con saves and things like that, are like 300 gold? Nope, 200 gold, which means that they're about 100 gold a piece to make. So let's see if I can find something that's a bit more. Yeah, it's 12, and that's 150. Yeah, as I'm looking at it, unless you can find another example of something with a similar DC array.
Okay.
I'm looking at 100 gold to make, 200 gold purchasing, or sell price, kind of.
This is to stop those runners, because Bob always has runners, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Bob loves runners. It's worth it. We got to get rid of them runners.
I'm not mad about it.
How can we dimensionally lock this Tanglefoot bag?
No, we've gone over that. You have to develop that as a magic item. Because evidently no one else has ever had that problem.
No? No one else has dealt with people running away. Everyone's just running away.
No,
Are you just going to keep running
people
away?
have that problem, but generally they figure out they don't usually have a consumable Tanglefoot bag enchanted with dimensional anchor.
Oh, okay. So...
How do they deal with the problem? Do they just put up with it?
Yeah, you just yell at them. Are you going to just keep running away? And they turn around and go, I'm not running.
No.
But it can't stop it. They have to.
And then they have to watch a show, many episodes. So yeah.
Look at this. Birds. What have you been doing?
So yeah. Okay, we'll figure out the days while
I've been
Ryan's
cruising the Blades district.
working on that. So drinking. All right.
I started working on the stuff yesterday. I'll go pick up the lumber and other stuff and start building today, I guess.
Okay.
What are we
Guess
doing
what?
today? But the group isn't doing anything?
No.
It's a book?
He's building a birdhouse.
I have, was it religion book? I have religion book.
Yes.
I read
Untangling the Divines.
Unraveling the Divine.
Unraveling the
Beginner's
Divine.
Guide to Understanding Religion, Volume 1 by Rebecca Dunn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rebecca Dunn.
I think 4 gold will cover my expenses.
For carpenter's tools?
No, I have carpenter's tools
For what?
for getting all the lumber and other stuff for the building.
What? What are you building?
A
A
big,
birdhouse?
Are you how big of a birdhouse are we building?
No, he said wood cover. Yeah.
I was thinking probably,
Is it shack size?
yeah, something along the lines of 10 by like 2 by probably 5 or 6.
So 2 feet wide, 10 feet long.
Okay, we're looking.
Like 2 feet depth, 10 feet long, 5 feet high.
Okay, so you're building like a coop,
Yeah,
but not a coop. Cubbies.
yeah. Using my animal handling skills, what's best for COVIDs and other such things?
What do you think comes to our mind when you say the word birdhouse?
I'm not talking like a singular birdhouse. I'm talking I've been looking. Aviary coop might have been a better word. I couldn't find the word for a big, like,
It's called
bunch
a
of.
muse.
I looked at
We
muse. It
discussed
didn't
this.
bring up what I wanted either. But yes, that for like at least 20, 25 birds.
Okay, so you're building basically a small house
Yeah.
with perches.
I mean, he's building like a work shed with perches.
And little holes in it so birds can get in.
Oh, yeah, I mean, there'd be open windows
Yeah.
and things for them to fly in and out, but it would be like a place with a door that you could walk into and out of.
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's a coop at this point.
Yeah, it's basically a big coop.
Okay. So, more than 4 gold, less?
I mean, more, and it's probably going to be a couple day project.
Okay.
Probably like 50 to 100 gold worth of supplies. Depending upon
What was built in the backyard? Because there was a structure.
Yeah, there's a shed there.
Yeah, it's an outhouse.
Oh, it's an outhouse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe we also have a covered thing for the wagon back there, but I'm not sure.
There's a place like a carport, I suppose.
Okay.
Or a stable of some sort.
There's
for
a
horse.
carport and a stable for the horses.
Yeah.
I was trying to think if there was just like a normal shed that he could use to convert. But
Will it convert? No.
Mhm. Well, that's fine. Spend my 50 gold, stuff it in a bag, bring it home.
Okay.
Start building shed. I
Go
have
ahead.
carpentry skills.
And you bought your carpenter's tools?
I had them from the beginning.
Okay. So, yeah, go ahead and do a proficiency carpentry check for me.
Is there a stat to that?
This would probably be wisdom for layout, and then tomorrow's would probably be dex for skill.
Okay. I will enhance my wisdom, and I have we today, so I'll see me making a check and add a d6.
Okay.
So, oh. 21. Oh, plus proficiency. 24.
12, 16, 16.
12 plus 4, 16.
Oh, I just heard you say 16 twice. I'm like, how big are these numbers we're getting?
Yes. 12 plus that, plus the wisdom is 21.
24.
Plus,
Okay.
yes.
So yeah, you set out a muse with like decent insulation and all of that, and you get everything ready, pre-cut some stuff.
Yeah.
Get everything.
Sit there, measure twice, cut once.
Yeah. You start basically working on the foundation and getting it all taken care of, make sure it's level,
Mm-hmm.
and all that fun junk. Okay. So that's your 8 hours.
Yeah.
Herr Wolfgang?
religion book.
Religion book. Okay. Go ahead and roll me a intelligence check.
So just adding intelligence.
Yep, just a straight intelligence.
7.
7. Okay.
Yeah.
You get into it, and as you're reading, just the Dr. Richter will not shut up about, well, that's interesting. You know, when you think about it, and he just keeps interrupting you. And you don't get very far. Because he's never had to back seat for so long before. He's just not used to it.
He thinks it's helping you out.
Yeah, he honestly thinks he's helping.
You have a nick in your head. Ha!
That's you!
But the joke works better that way, so I'm willing to take the hit.
You murdered an old lady.
So that's my day.
Yeah, the cheapest thing that I can find with a DC that is of that level is 150, and it's like a thing where you get advantage on intelligence checks, and it's kind of the side effect of using it. So yeah.
So you found something different that's more expensive and not as close as whatever you found.
No.
Well, it's less expensive.
It's
and
less-
it's different, and it's not an attack item.
Yeah. So yeah, 200 seems to be like.
Okay.
200 was there.
So yeah, it's 100 per tanglefoot
Okay.
bag. How many bags would you like? And would you like him to spend time making double the bags so yours are free? So like if you want 10, he makes 20, sells them, and it's just a net.
Oh, okay.
net
Yes, then whatever the
Nothing lost,
highest
nothing
amount
gained.
of that is.
Yeah. So yeah, 10 of them.
okay, so you want 10, so you want him to make 20?
Yeah.
Because that's about how much he can make in a week.
Okay. Then yeah, if that's his max capacity, we'll do that.
Okay.
And does he need money from us? For
Nope, this is part of his operational budget.
Okay.
Because of it washing out, he doesn't need money because what's getting taken out is put back in. If you were just buying them for you, he would need money for that because his budget doesn't account for you taking things.
Okay.
It's like we're taking his profit either way. We're just having to take the profit
Yeah.
in tanglefoot bags instead.
Basically, yes.
Working on birdhouse, reading book,
Yep.
drinking.
Drinking and
Teaching?
Yeah, you're teaching.
Yep.
Which it's going to take up 8 hours of your day every day for the next 8 weeks. So I feel like you guys should have a conversation about whether or not you want to move this forward.
I got a book to read for a while.
Like, if you want to do 8 weeks,
Well, not 8 weeks, but I could be good moving ahead by a week to
A week?
finish that and see how far he gets. And then we'll check over the balance blades again.
okay,
It'll
but,
last-
like just so you're aware, if you're moving things, if you're fast forwarding a week, that means nothing's changing. You're not recruiting. You're not like you'll get money, and everything will be autopilot. But it's like Jake's not going to be actively recruiting during that week.
I mean,
fast
that's
forward because otherwise you could just be like,
Kind of on the
we're going to
autopilot.
we're going to take 3 months off, and Jake's going to recruit, and then we're going to brute force our way through every single zone.
With pure numbers.
Would stuff
Which-
like the basement still be getting finished in
Yes,
that time?
that would be getting finished. Like things that take a week would be getting finished, but you wouldn't be able to do like a day, like daily items you can't
I have another
assign, but a
question.
weekly item you could.
Can he take a day off of teaching and just basically be like, you know, they're obviously not advancing, but not go behind and then just pick up if he needs to join us on...
Yeah, you can push it back a day.
Yeah.
Please try to keep it at a minimum for my sanity.
Alright.
But yeah, you can. Obviously, if you need to, because you need to, you need to. I'm not going to say you can't do it because you can.
But basically, yeah, if we go by forward a week, then we, whatever, do a little more.
Like, what would Mary be do for a week?
Continuing to just perception check
Yeah.
through that environment to see if anything's going on.
That'd be the goal.
Yeah. And
I
then
mean,
in the
with
week, we make a
whole-
decision.
With a whole week, I could certainly roll above a 5, probably.
I'll just
Yeah.
let you roll once
I-
per week. How's that sound?
With
Deeply
advantage.
unfair.
With advantage.
I don't know. You want to spend half your days looking for level 1s? Because you still have 14 levels to pay back or whatever.
I mean,
Oh yeah, just pay it out. Hey, I paid you in mass. You paid me in guinea pigs. They were all level 1.
hey, it counts. However you feel like doing it.
Mm.
Okay, so if you guys want to do a week thing,
Yeah, it's like, do we want to just...
It's like, I'd only want to fast forward a single week, then check on the balance blades more thoroughly.
Like he's checking the balance plates during that week, so we might get information at that point when we get to the next meeting.
True.
So, do we want to fast forward to, what, Tuesday or Sunday or something?
What works for Bob?
We would move forward to Tuesday, so it'd
Okay.
be a 7-day period. And just so you know, if you actually did do investigation checks, it'd be a week's worth of investigation, which means that there would be a lower DC you could roll at advantage.
Yeah. Sort of doing it the way that Molly did when she was just gone for a week. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be a lower DC that you could roll at advantage and you to learn, and you would get more information.
Well, the bonus is almost the same.
Okay.
So I guess I'll take the advantage.
Okay.
Then again, if I do perception checks, do I get 5 perception checks?
You would get 7,
7 perception checks. Ooh.
but you have to remember
7
that.
perception checks versus... I feel like with no bonus, I need to go for the big money natural 20.
But you have to remember that when you succeed, if you succeed on the first perception checks, you don't learn anything new for the rest of the week.
The investigation, lower DC, more information.
Okay,
Yeah.
it seems like a bad plan, but fine, we'll do the investigation.
I mean, granted, you're going to roll 2 1s, but
I
it's
figure
still,
one of them is going to be a 5.
yeah, it's still
Okay,
the
so-
better percentile chance.
So yes on a week, yes, and
yeah.
okay. So we're going to move forward. Just a quick weekend game to make life easier on everyone. So you are.
We all found things to do.
You all found things to do. Go ahead and do a advantage investigation check for me.
Natural 1, and then a 19.
Ah.
So I get a total of 20.
Okay. As you travel through and you spend time in
But yeah,
bars,
immediately throw a natural 1.
as you travel through and spend time in bars as you do, you eventually come to learn that there is some trouble in the balance blades. They're very agitated, very annoyed. They lost a serious asset, and they have been kind of trying to scramble to find him. What you also realized is that this asset was probably the necromancer, and the reason they can't find him is because the next day he came in to the Red Horse and has been being set up in a room there with his daughter, waiting on you guys to have time to speak with him. And you're effectively hiding him from them at
I
this
thought,
point.
didn't we already know that? Like
The necromancer?
Didn't we already have people literally going to check for him?
Yeah, you sent birds out.
Oh, yeah.
Maribel was trying to get...
Yeah,
him to
he
come
just
out.
didn't
You just
show up
didn't- you
the
didn't
day
follow
before. He didn't show up in those 2 days before, because
Yeah.
when I sat there waiting for him, he didn't show up. He showed up after that, before this week started.
And is he just in that extra room that's over there?
Yeah, he's
That's great. That's a great spot for him. I like it.
yeah, so he's just chilling. Mother
So what you're
June-
saying is we don't know about it, but I know about it, which means I could probably kill him with nobody noticing.
No, he came in and talked to Spartacus. Mother June, you've been out training your people quite thoroughly. I believe you had a different timeline on Fleetfoot, correct?
Yeah. We found out that I've known Fleetfoot for 4 weeks.
Okay. So yeah, he's pretty close to done,
Alright.
which will help. Let's get some checks from our fearless leader. Okay, so
that me?
Adam, yeah, go ahead.
I'm the fearless leader.
You've pushed the plot along the most, so yes.
Yeah, go ahead and do history checks. Now you can because this is weird, I'll let you roll for potence for that you can use for that week. So you can roll 2 dice and you can use
Okay,
either
over
of
the
those
week,
dice
okay.
over the week. Yeah, just to make life easy.
Use both.
Okay. And then now what am I
You have
rolling?
7 history, 7 intelligence checks.
Okay, so just intelligence checks. Okay.
Yes.
So taking both of those, 22, 21, 12, 18. 12. 24. 24. 22, 21, 12, 18, 12, 24, 24.
Alright, any of those natural 20s or
Nope.
just 19s?
Couple double 19s.
Okay. So 22, 21, 12, 12, 18, 24, 24?
22, 21, 12, 18, 12, 24, 24.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Different order, but yes.
Yes, okay. Okay. As you're making your way through the book, sections start making sense to you. You read the whole thing through once.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're going back and actually studying. You're dirtying up the pages. You're taking notes. You're learning not just what this person says religion works, but how religions tend to work in general and integrating it into your knowledge base. You're not quite done yet, but you have made progress. Okay. Maribel.
Carpentry, building a shed.
Okay, go ahead and give me another roll for your muse with Dex, which
Okay.
would be the next day. So yes, you can. I'd let him do it. You can too.
Okay, so it'll just be the enhancement. Plus 20.
Okay, it's it is a building. It's reasonably well built. It doesn't. You don't do it any faster than you thought you would. You don't really save materials, but it was well laid out.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a building built
Yeah.
for corvids and other birds of that nature.
Cool. I guess.
Maintaining it will require things like telling Spartacus to maintain it.
Yes, now fill this with seeds and other stuff that birds want. I know those things, but I don't.
Sexy bird pictures.
Yeah, put some of those
Pin-ups.
firefighting birds or whatever.
Bird pinups.
Just like drumsticks. No, wrong, not those. Incorrect. Okay, so yes, you have a muse.
Speak with animals ritual.
Yes.
Money.
Yep. And you get money, so we're going to go ahead and do.
Should I roll for my Saturday for donations?
Yeah, sure. You can nickel and dime this.
17.
Okay, so 28.
You get 19 gold.
Nice.
And then there it is.
Well, that we're going to bring him in, the necromancer into the morning. Sorry, we had a very busy week. We couldn't see you. I was building a birdhouse. I was reading a book.
I mean, to be fair, no. What we've done is we've, through the gang, set him up to be protected during this time before, and made sure that he is secure before we bother initiating what we're moving forward to get from him.
Yeah.
We just made sure he's safe first.
Okay, so through your various business enterprises, which is the exportorium, the your gambling, and the Gilded Lily, or Gilded Garden. Gilded Garden. Lily is the saying, garden is the thing. You get 4,330 gold.
Woohoo.
Oh, wait, I screwed that up.
Add a 0?
Nope.
Subtract a 0.
You get 2,800 gold. I forgot to take the cut out for the gang.
I feel like we're getting a bigger percentage than I was expecting.
What, over 50?
Yeah.
No, you're not. You just now have 2 things that are producing a crap ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
You have a gambling hall in a blood sports arena.
It's like finally the cat.
Is that normal?
And you're also actively working to increase the wages around the blood sports arena, which means that as the weeks pass, they're going to go up.
How much money was needed for your staff?
5. Yeah, 5.
So yeah, it's Tuesday. You have 10 Tanglefoot bags.
Yeah. Tangler grenades.
Yep. And Doomsayer needs something else to do, because that was what he was doing. Well, him and Anders are still training, of course.
Do we have anything active, or are we going to go back to money production with what was it, drugs, weapons?
Weapons.
Yeah, it was producing weapons. Because, let's see.
Hey, Bob. When we're producing weapons and selling them, what are the odds that ends up being used against us later?
That's very interesting. When one takes actions in an underworld type society.
Like, because I'm feeling like maybe we're not selling them to other right upstanding people.
Here's the funny thing about illegal weapons shipments. Usually, the people who buy those...
Not right upstanding people, that's my thought.
Not right upstanding
yeah,
people.
that's what I was thinking.
So...
Interesting.
The other things that I had on my...
Not like you have a shop front.
my list of stuff for Doomsayer to make were a glowing slime trail, so people who run, so we know what direction they go. Breach charges.
For blowing up doors?
Yeah, for getting through doors. Door wedges, so something that'll glue a door shut. Itching powder. And I asked him to look into some sort of like magical suppressant, and he got really interested in that, but hasn't had time to work on it, I think.
Well, yeah, he hasn't had time to invent the anti-magic sphere.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think we need glue. Door wedges, we could probably just have, the wooden ones.
You can just wedge doors with wood.
Yeah.
Breaching charges, that's a kind of a good one. Though I feel we would come up against a door once, fail to lockpick it, then immediately move to breaching charges before we did anything else.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we do.
But still a useful tool to actually have.
What about some
Unless you want to make flashbangs.
marvelous pigments?
Those would be
Beyond
good.
his scope?
I mean, he's not exactly that kind of mage, but he is kind of that kind of mage. It would be easier, but not cheaper, to have someone just buy them.
Mm-hmm.
He could make them. It would take him a while. And cost. The half the price of whatever the magical pigments cost, which I think they're common or uncommon.
No. They're pretty...
I think they might be rare.
Up there with my staff.
Yeah, very rare.
Maybe above my staff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would cost you thousands of gold and then like a month of his time.
Hey, you don't just run into, Wile E. Coyote magic paint.
You could just buy it.
But if we're doing it half price, the more expensive it is, the more we're saving with that half off.
Good point. We'd be losing money if we didn't have to make something super expensive.
Mm-hmm.
That's good math. You can't argue with it.
quick question. It would be for Adam, though, because he would be the one who gets access to fabricate. Say I wanted to make a wooden crate. Can I target a wooden wall for the raw materials?
No, you need
No,
raw
you
material.
need raw materials.
How raw are we talking? Like, if I want to make a suit of armor, do I need processed bars, or can I only use raw, like, iron ore?
Processed bars would be fine, but like you can't just rip a wall apart. It's a finished material. It's made into a house.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Like for the wooden thing, you could probably
planks.
use logs or planks. Different levels of what processing is left to do them, but both would be considered raw materials, not a finished product.
That wording is specifically there for that kind of
Yeah, because
behavior.
I didn't know. It's like, okay, this is stone wall. They're just using natural stone with, like, grout in between them.
Yeah, it's finished.
So the idea is when the object
it has
is done...
been quarried. It has been like changed and made into bricks, and then those bricks have been put into something and more. It is a crafted product.
Okay.
When the person that made that level of item finished making it, their thought process wasn't, and now I move this on to the next person to continue working with this.
It's kind of like how you can't take water out of someone to like make a puddle with fabricate.
But
They're using that.
Gotcha. So it is the theoretical, okay, this is a finished product, even if, like, technically the raw stones are the same level of processing as another bunch of raw stones.
Yeah, they would not though.
Okay. So no demolition through fabrication. Gotcha.
No, you've got explosives.
I don't know, unless it's like we could have that, or we could have them work on like flashbangs or some actual like laxative stuff for that situation where we could have spiked the soup kitchen and.
See, that never had a real end goal besides being dicks.
Not
Yeah, well, they were dicks to us first.
Don't underestimate the value of that.
The idea was that we would do that, and then we'd be able to attack Gustav while his defenders were preoccupied.
Mm.
That was the idea behind doing that.
That's
to the
just
soup.
poisoning people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you just,
We don't
you
need
just,
laxatives. We just something
you
that
just poison them.
inflicts the poison condition.
Funny, they are pooping themselves gives them the same disadvantage as the poison condition.
Yeah.
We can just say whatever poison it was, it makes them poop themselves. It makes you happy. It's a flavor thing. I'm fine with altering it to please you.
I don't know. What's the highest DC he could make of a poison to inflict poison status?
That's a very good question.
How good are you?
Yeah, it's like, what kind of poison could he produce? That might be a good enough idea anyway. We could tip arrows with it.
Because the problem with most in the book, well, isn't like a DC 12, 50 gold or 100 gold for a use.
Unless he can make knockout poison.
Yes, these drow-specific BS poisons.
Let's see.
Does 5th edition even have that?
200, yeah.
Okay.
You can get the common basic poison. It's a DC 10 for 100. The drow is 200. And if the saving throw fails by 5 or more, they're unconscious. Saving is a DC 13.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if poisoning requires a feat.
Nope.
It's like, I do not believe there's still the poison.
It's not a feat, it's a...
Class.
Is it a tool proficiency or a class feature?
There's a poisoner's kit, but that's just for making poisons. Like, it's a separate skill than alchemy.
Let's see the poisoning book.
It's over here.
Can I say it closer? Thank you. Thank you.
No, Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, Poisoner. When you make a damage roll that deals poison damage, ignore resistance to poison damage. You can apply poison to a weapon or a piece of ammunition as a bonus action instead of an action.
See, that to me says poisoning an item's an action.
It is.
You gain proficiency with Poisoner's Kit if you don't already have it.
It also means that he does not have proficiency in a poisoner's kit. That is not what he does.
Oh, okay.
Poisons is apparently its own specific thing.
Gotcha.
Makes sense.
Yeah, the second ability just allows you to make some moderate DC poison damage. Poison.
Okay. Proficiency with this kit lets you add your proficiency bonus to ability checks you make to craft or use poisons. And I think the idea is that applying poisons could have some sort of risk.
I don't believe it does, because the feat doesn't say it mitigates any risk.
Yeah.
It just changes it from an action to a bonus action, so I don't believe there's any risk to actually using a poison.
I'd have to assume if your DM was feeling feisty and you're doing it on, like, horseback.
Yeah, if you're doing it on
Yeah.
horseback, it might be a bit more difficult. But
Yeah, circumstances determine whether or not you're like.
it's kind of like if you try to do it underwater, I'd also have something to say about it.
Yeah, it's like if it makes sense, there's probably going to be complications for doing it, but otherwise.
Oh, we're not operating on Air Bud rules. There's no rule that says I can't do poison underwater.
There ain't no rules that says your dog can't play basketball.
Good enough for them.
It's high school basketball. We really don't care. It's not even like the Nationals or anything.
How dare you say that in the middle of March Madness? Which I've been informed is a thing.
Yes.
They
I
told
think
me
those
at
are
work.
college kids.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my level of sports knowledge. I'm like, how do you know that it's going on currently then?
Because I was informed.
Also, it's March.
Yeah, no, that's why I bet you figured out. Oh, my brain was stupid. But that is the first thing my brain says is, well, how do you, if you don't know so much about it, how do you know it's now? Wait a minute.
Secret's in the name, but
Yeah, college basketball. All the effort, none of the pay.
yep. That's why they're required to go to 4 years of college before they get into the NBA, because they make way too much money off of them in college.
Alright, we can start paying you back now that you're famous in the NBA.
Anyway, so
Hope he didn't get injured.
you can't poison stuff, so
No, he can't make poisons.
Yeah.
He can poison whoever he wants.
true.
It's easy.
Barely an inconvenience.
I mean, we almost all show up here after him.
As he just...
So, if we don't want money, which, if we buy my thing, I'm fine with not making money for a while. But breach charges sound good.
Alright, cool with breach charges.
let me look up, because there's explosives. There's basic, like, grenades.
Mm-hmm.
I think the idea was this would probably be the kind of thing where it has the siege weapon thing, so it can lower its normal ability and have that.
Yeah, basically no AoE, all damage, anti-object.
Blasting powder is common adventuring gear. And it's scalable, so you can keep adding pouches.
Oh, okay.
What was it in Star Wars that was scalable and didn't have a limit on how many pouches you could add?
Thermal detonators.
Yeah, thermal detonators.
I killed myself with a bag of them because I didn't throw it far enough. I took like 1 billion damage and
They do a lot
vaporized
of damage.
myself.
You never had that issue with duffel bags full of C4 in D20 Modern.
Ah,
Well, that's because we have the speedy getaway of a golf cart. Those zombies didn't stand a chance.
The unstoppable speed of a golf cart.
Not sure why the zombies were attacking the golf course, but
That's where they was.
I gotta hang out
Why
beside
we decided to bomb a golf course is a better thing.
There were zombies
there. That was
Makes
easy. That's an
total-
easy one.
total
Nobody-
sense.
I like being able to hang off the side of the golf cart and killing stuff with my chainsaw.
You haven't noticed there's a theme to Ryan using chainsaws as often as possible.
who doesn't like a chainsaw?
Someone watched Army of Darkness at a
Formative
very
formative years.
years.
That character was named Ash.
So yeah, blasting powder is what you would like.
Okay, that sounds good.
So would you like Doomsayer to start working on blasting powder?
Yes.
Yes.
How much is blasting powder?
Doesn't give a price.
Yeah.
But it's 13, so I'm going to go with hundreds of 50 per batch.
How much you do?
3d6 bludgeoning. Which means it doesn't catch everything on fire. It just explodes.
Yeah.
Can we make it catch everything on fire?
Yes, there's a grenade. It does fire damage. Almost the exact same amount, except it's not scalable.
Can't you just tweak it so it also does fire?
Yeah, it's a grenade. It's already a thing.
But I want the scalable version.
Oh. I don't want you to have that.
I want the scalable thing that says
We're not
fires.
allowing you to make a fireball. No, you can just pay money and throw it at someone.
Hey,
you know
man.
what? Go buy a scroll.
I just want a little terrorism is all.
A 5-foot radius
I
fireball.
don't know. He let me get away with that with the lizard. He's just like, we're gonna give you alchemy fire, and it's just gonna scale as high as you can make the roll.
It wasn't me, right?
Because why not?
No, that was me. That was me in when I was playing the lizard in his game.
The other.
Oh,
Other
the
god
divine game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one with the orbs.
Yeah.
Or-
Where I completely misheard him when he told me what my staff looked like, and it ruined. Like, my character spent so long trying to figure it out. I'm like, I've had no clues, and he's just you have one. I just wasn't listening.
He was Mr. Taxi Man.
This feels
Please don't
like
be- Yeah,
like you're referencing a divine game that's not going to be coming out on this channel when this
Yeah, it's
channel
not.
was eventually going to have a divine game coming
Yeah,
up on
it-
it. How
it's-
confusing.
it's
Well,
a
how many
different one.
divine games have you guys played it?
4 or 5?
3?
At least 3. That's why I said the other divine game.
And no, it's pretty standard. You
And
you play
I also
D&D.
was in a divine one-shot.
Yeah, that's pretty standard because you play D&D, then you do high level, then you do evil, then you do something weird like gods.
Yeah,
That's
don't
just a standard progression for the nerd base.
yeah, don't you know, those poor boys over there, they're working so hard.
But I mean, that's just how it is. Everyone does it. They do, regular play, high level play, evil, and then God.
Mhm.
It's just how you run your campaigns.
Okay, is he selling these or are you getting them?
We're getting them.
Yeah, we're getting them.
We're not specific about what he's building when we're selling them. So we're getting them.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and purchase.
Okay, so he can make 15 of them in a week.
Okay. Then,
So either we get 7 or we pay for 15.
yeah, pay for 15.
Okay, so it's 750.
That is an interesting way of doing things.
What?
Getting half.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a perfectly reasonable thing, and that's easy math.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it costs us as much, and here's your profit.
Yeah, there is a maximum of 60-10 that you can do.
Or
Wait,
10d6.
yeah, 10d6. Yeah,
Yeah, and it,
increases the damage maximum of 10d6 and a blast radius by 5 feet. So you can make a 10d6 20-foot blast radius by just putting pouches.
so yeah, we'll take that out of the money that we made for the week. So we got 2,050 that goes into the additional party funds. So by next week, we'll be able to do the 5,000 for the staff.
So this is the morning meeting of the Tuesday after the week.
Mm-hmm.
Spartacus has not brought in the necromancer yet.
Okay.
But he is telling us now that he has them.
Well,
We've known.
Oh, okay.
We've known.
He's just
Like I said, we actively made the decision. Okay, we're just going to make sure he's safe for a while,
Yeah.
and not draw too much attention to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Wanting to bring him in and talk to him?
yes, would you like to? Spartacus is basically inquiring. You want me to bring him in?
Yeah.
Should we move
Do we want to instead have just a few of us go to him?
in his room with his daughter?
I think it would be
We
better.
have other rooms at that facility. We do.
We're at that facility.
No,
You're at the horses, at the Red Horse Inn.
No.
okay. Which one is he at? Is he at the one that we own or the one that we're paying for?
The
Paying
one,
for.
the Red Horse Inn.
Okay, so that's
You don't. Oh, that's the horse's head.
Yeah, we're at the Red Horse.
okay.
Yeah, gambling's at the horse.
So is he in the same building we're at?
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah. We
Yeah,
can just bring-
normal morning, Monday morning. Well, every morning meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Place.
Do we want to bring him in with the whole group here, though? Is that not intimidating?
That was Spartacus's question.
Yeah.
Like, do you want me to go get him? Because Spartacus is the one who's been interacting with him. And should we?
No,
do
let him know that we'll meet with him when we're finished here.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
give him some forewarning, but
Spartacus goes, good. I didn't want that poor little girl to be afraid. He stands up, just ducks his way out of the door.
And that's fine because Molly's been working on the spy net, right?
Yeah,
So she
that's a
can,
good point. I need to roll for her because she's had another week.
Yeah, she's doing that. Our underground building.
Okay, so Molly is there in her lovely suit and reports that she has built a network of 15 agents that she can call on to for information in different parts.
after
of the
twitching around a bit,
area.
Wolfgang stands up and be like, "I'll be back shortly. You can." Mother has my vote. Then I walk out. I go back to collect some of the other things from my room that I don't bother carrying with me.
Okay. Corpses, whatever.
I have drawings.
Oh, right.
Is the idea to taunt him with them or to give them?
You don't even know what I'm doing.
No,
But good guess.
no, that was a ask.
So, yeah, Molly has agents now, so she does have a spy network of sorts, so there would be forewarning and things of that nature.
Awesome. Yeah, I want to dedicate most of them for defensive purposes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So they're basically wandering around, keeping an eye on things and sending word if anything dangerous looks like it's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's mostly counter spy work to make sure that people aren't sending in people to investigate us.
Okay, yeah, she can do that.
Right.
How's the underground base?
Oh, that's done.
Oh,
Yeah.
And it's not like a base, it's...
a big room.
Yeah, it's about a...
It's a room that can be contained that I can put zombies in and they don't just wander aimlessly.
Yeah, it's about a 15 by 30 foot room
Yeah.
with a strong door and a airlock.
Good, good.
And if you want to split it up by cells, there's hooks in the wall so that you can like chain the zombies up, so you can make them chain themselves up before you lose control of them and you don't have to worry about coming back. So you can store, I don't know, probably 20 zombies in there. If you're fine with sardining them.
We'll stack them like cordwood.
Mm. So.
Do any of the other lieutenants have all the jobs finished and need stuff?
It's like I don't think. I don't even remember what
Abbott has all of the pricing and everything worked out with all of the cookie people you have picked
Okay.
and got their suppliers and everything set up for them. So they're now making cookies
Awesome.
to start sending out with people as soon as you provide, like people from the church have volunteered and stuff like that, since this is for a good cause, to start going and selling cookies.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say I just want to be able to facilitate that, and
Yeah.
once they're ready for the cookies, go out and have people start selling the stuff.
Yeah, so they've got them and they're going around. He set it all up in the week that he's had to do that.
Good job, Abbott.
So it's something we don't have to think about. The churchgoers are out being our selling force. We didn't have to have boys do that.
Steve's got a preliminary corpse storage contracts drawn up, where people, it's a basic storage fee that people can pay to store corpses and all of that good stuff. Though he doesn't have any pricing on it.
And that's fine. And basically, it sounds like right now,
Abbott
Mary
sounds
is needing finances for something, and we'll move forward.
It's like, Abbott seems free. Can we have him do market research on the value of holding a body in gentle repose so they could be rezzed?
I mean, that's just what you want to charge.
Sure.
Because this is a very different format than the other one where you have to keep going back and paying for it again and again, and you're up. Like, someone can leave their loved one here and they could sail off as an adventurer.
Yeah. It would be more of a service for adventurers where their party member died. They need to go get X, Y, or Z, and they don't want to drag the corpse with them just for danger.
We need to put the body on layaway.
Mm-hmm. That well, except for the actual res, we are just body storage for res.
Mm-hmm. With the guarantee of freshness kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Freshness
So if it's for
guaranteed.
adventurers,
I assure you, all bodies are personally inspected very intimately by our approved individuals.
You're fired. Don't worry, none of that happens.
Intimately checked for freshness.
How much was the
Liability.
ritual to enchant?
What flavor?
How much was the ritual to enchant those boxes?
Exactly.
Red coral stuff.
200 gold of diamond, 600 gold red coral. That's per box. Could fit 60 drawers in that space we have there.
So I was thinking, if we're targeting adventurers, 25 a week? That would be 100 a month, 3 months to pay off a box.
And we're past our $750 period, as that was within a week, as of Saturday. So probably roughly 1,000, I would guess.
Huh?
The cost of getting that stuff installed.
Oh, yeah. We did not pay that contractor to do the extra work.
So we would take 1,000 gold to set up 60 boxes.
Mundane.
Like the carpentry portion.
Oh, the
Yeah,
carpentry.
that's the carpentry portion. And then it's at least 200 gold per box.
Okay.
That's if you can find
Diamond. Yeah,
Right.
that's what I say, at least.
Because we could crash. Well, would we? Yeah, crash the diamond market as hard as possible.
The thing about a crashing market like that
Mm-hmm.
is it increases the value of diamond.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
And we don't need as much. Now, it doesn't help our existing diamond that we've already bought. But as it gets harder to find a diamond, it does require less diamond.
Incorrect.
Totally correct.
Who's that? That's the De Beers Resurrection Cartel. They've got a special monopoly on diamonds. They can resurrect people for like nothing. They literally just pull out one little speck and boom, it counts.
No, it's like
You still have to pay them the same amount for it, but you know.
Yeah. But they totally got the corner on diamonds.
what is a reasonable time frame to pay it off? Like 3 months, 6 months?
They'd have to pay up front would be my guess.
Well, no. For us, how many months of charging for a individual box to pay back its cost?
Well, there's 60 boxes, and it costs 600. So if you're going to charge 100 a month, each box would be 6 months to pay off the box. But 6 months worth of tenant.
Yeah. And it's like, is 100 a month too high?
As far as what it would cost otherwise?
I don't know. I say we put together 5 boxes, set it up for like 100 gold for now and see what takers we have? Or say 200 and see what takers we have. And
So what's the... I think you need to take into account the cost difference between...
coral and diamond?
No.
Sorry.
Thank you for guessing.
Mhm.
No. Between resurrection and true resurrection.
True Resurrection is basically myth stuff.
Well, even from raised dead to resurrection.
Yeah.
But that is more reasonable.
Well,
What's raised dead? 1,000 or 5,000?
well, we've already paid the raised dead, and it was like 5,000.
Oh yeah, raised dead, which is within a week or a year.
10 days.
10 days.
10
yeah.
days. Yeah.
Or 3 days or something. I don't remember.
So yes, the actual cost of them doing it sells way cheaper, but the pricing of a res is 5,000. I could see going up to 250, 300 a month, and still be worth it for them.
Sorry, I was just thinking of the name of the episode.
Mhm.
Raised Dead is 500.
So we would want it to be less than raised dead if they had.
500 worth of diamond for them to cast it themselves.
Yeah,
not
for
pay
them to
someone
ca-
else.
Yeah, it's 10 times as much for someone to cast it for you.
Because
So still underneath the price for that for them to scrounge. So I think half the cost, 250 a month.
Yeah, Resurrection is for a century.
Mm-hmm. And
And True Resurrection is like 200 years or something stupid like that.
what's the diamond dust
200
on
years.
regular resurrection?
500.
1,000.
Oh, Resurrection is 1,000. Yeah.
1,000, and then 25,000 for true.
Yeah.
But Resurrection is a 7th level spell. Raised Dead's a 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Finding people with 5th level spells relatively easy. Finding people with 7, that's like usually people retire before they get there.
Okay.
Which
So-
means they're definitely in charge of some massive arcane organization because they love paperwork in their old age.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're running a church.
That's true. They could be doing that too because they love community outreach in their old age.
No, because you have to have someone who can talk to God running a church.
But anyway, so
Anyone can do that.
I'd say we go ahead and leave this on the table until like next week at least.
Yeah, that's my thought. My initial thought was get the staff first.
Yeah, do that, and
Thought
then
about that.
we can talk about this as an additional revenue source. And
More
actually,
importantly,
probably
not when we're running game clock down.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is that we probably want to get to the point where we have Doomslayer a new place before we start setting up the church for additional businesses.
True.
Anyway, so as far as what other people, so Jake would still be recruiting. So
Because Jake was maintenance last week because we can't recruit with our sped up time.
right. Say Molly's built the spy network. I don't know. Do we want her working on actually nailing down the sewer location for the boss of the Balance Blades?
I was going to ask the necromancer more about that, but without him down there, theoretically, it may be safer in the sewer for her to do it versus us going as a party. Because that was the reason we were doing it. There was stuff down there that could hurt her.
Mm-hmm.
And we can ask the necromancer if he still has his orb seeing through those undead.
Well, we can ask Molly to hang around for her orders until after we've talked to him then.
Mm-hmm.
So you want Jake recruiting?
Yes. So, Jake recruiting. We'll wait on Molly. Doomsayer's got the blasting powder. and training wizards.
Well, we got Spartacus again.
Yeah, Spartacus.
I don't know. Do we want to maybe have... The only thing I can think of is set up some sort of special underground in the sewers between our bases. I don't know if those are markings or something else, just training everyone to do it, just so we could move our men underground quickly.
I mean, if you would.
So,
I'm actually kind of curious what kind of training Spartacus could give boys.
How to wash your hands really, really well.
Now, you could do that.
I mean, Spartacus isn't really combat based.
Mm-hmm.
So if you wanted to recruit more people into his logistics empire, because as you expand, he will eventually need people.
That's true. Doesn't he only have one lieutenant right now?
Spartacus? Yeah.
You have 2 areas. You could spend some time getting another person to handle slum stuff.
He is, since he's logistics, he can handle 3 solo.
Okay.
That's why he generally stays in one spot and makes people come to him. But eventually, he's going to need more people as runners. But, like, that's kind of his special thing.
No, okay.
What if I train them up some talking birds?
That shit?
I mean, we would set up a little thing outside so they could talk to them, but...
Outside?
I mean, they would be intelligent. You could set
That
them
doesn't
up a
make them
tiny
not
bathroom.
filthy. You're intelligent and he thinks you're gross.
No, I have that cleansing amulet on.
Yeah, you have to have one. You were so bad at bathing.
But,
Your bumpkin bunny butt.
Would Spartacus's logistics be able to increase the profitability of the quarry union?
I mean, yeah, he could go and send either his lieutenant or himself over to the core unit to start working on them to help them smooth out their logistics.
Okay, I think that's a good thing since that'll help get the slums up and moving and get more money flowing into the extordium.
We have such good community outreach and, gentrification
Yeah, you're
for
terrible.
An evil gang.
You're terrible at being evil. You're so bad at it.
We're running Girl Scout cookies, Ryan.
Yeah.
For the poor.
You know what? I am not convinced that is not modeling ourselves after evil organization.
Yeah, the Girl Scout cookies are a great scam. They make so much money.
They keep reducing the number of cookies they give me, but keeping the price the same.
Yeah.
Is that how they're managing to keep the prices? Okay, that makes me feel a lot better about... I was like, how have these not been hit by inflation? This doesn't...
They have. You get, like, probably 10 cookies less in everything except for the mint ones, which are disgusting anyways.
Yeah, no one likes those ones.
Let's see. So
The best thing about Thin Mints is other people eat them.
Don't eat your cookies.
They don't eat my cookies. The Samoas and Tagalongs.
Tagalongs are the best.
Samoas are master race.
Tagalongs are straight up just peasant food.
You can just kill him. You can just drop a gazebo from the sky.
you mean
Samoas are the best cookie.
I'm afraid he agrees with me. So obviously that means that both
I'll
of us
have to
are right.
document this for the next time I'm running a game. Kill Austin.
That's okay. His
Samoas
guy gets better.
Are the best cookies.
They are the best cookies.
They are.
No, there's
Which ones are so much coconut?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I don't do
They're
coconut.
like the donuts with caramel and coconut and chocolate.
Everything sounds great
on
except
like a
coconut.
crispy biscuit.
I can't do coconut. It's
You know what it is? It's not cheese.
It's not cheese. Sometimes it looks a little bit like cheese, and you might
Oh,
wonder, is
God.
that cheese?
Is that the mistake you've made? That's atrocious.
When you're
That's
expecting cheese, and you know what? It shouldn't have been cheese.
I'm really unhappy when I go to take a sip of tea and I get switched up my tea with someone's sweet tea.
Yeah, oh no, it actually wasn't that bad. Don't worry.
And that's like upsetting.
But yeah,
Or when for some reason the orange soda was clear and someone had a clear orange soda poured out and I had a Sprite. That was the most startling shit I've ever been. I've like missed steps going down the stairs before. This was way worse. I thought I was having a stroke.
But for Steve, do we have anything that we would want him to potentially be working on?
Steve was working on the contracts and working with all the guys to get them up to speed on how to behave.
Okay. And as far as something like new for him to do,
I don't know. Make sure all the taxes and stuff are filed. No, that's
That's-
probably Abbott's job.
That's Abbott's job.
and it's like, I don't know, is there any particular loose ends that you would want to take care of at this point in time?
Do paperwork, Steve.
I mean, he can just do maintenance. Like
Mm.
general, like, make sure everything, all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. Dot all the lowercase J's.
I don't know. Do you want to spend time on actually building up your practice?
I mean, he could.
Yeah, it's like if you want to build up your practice and kind of get a better.
Because he has a partner right now.
No,
That is not part of your guys' side. Of
Right.
things.
and it's like if we want to spend time building up your practice so it becomes a stronger legal force, I think that'd be good.
I feel this is probably a fit time I can return. And it is the doctor that comes in, shuffling through papers from the bag and largely just trying to make sure that none of them are like I don't think any are bloodstained or had weird things with because of the order I was collecting them.
No, you didn't collect them anywhere weird. You collected them from his...
Yeah.
Yeah, the
But
bloodstains
just-
there were already there.
Yeah. Sort of checking things and just sort of organizing a stack there.
Okay.
But yeah, that's kind of what Ludwig, the doctor, comes in doing.
Okay, so I take it you want Spartacus to go get the necromancer.
Well, I'm still waiting for the end of meeting, but
Okay.
I just did that in the middle of.
It's like for Abbott, I'm fine with letting him continue to work the cookie angle.
Or the stonecutter angle, whichever brings more money.
Well, Spartacus is working with them now. We don't need 2 lieutenants on that.
True.
Okay, Abbott's working with the cookies.
Yes, make sure no one else is skimming off us.
You gave him a week to set up everything,
Yeah.
so most of it is pretty well done.
Alright. So that's all the lieutenants for now until we figure out what we want to do with Molly after talking to the necromancer.
Okay, so you give Spartacus the nod, and he goes out to get the necromancer and brings him in.
I bring up my map of balanced blade sewers, lay that all out.
So, I believe... Okay. That's who's got a name already.
Yes, the necromancer very specifically never named himself.
Okay. So in walks a human whom you have seen before. And, well, all of you have probably met him or seen him around the bar at some point. He doesn't really get out much, per se.
Yeah, he's in our room now, right? The meeting room?
Yeah, he just came in.
The meeting room's pretty small, right?
Not super small.
It's like a dining room.
So smaller than 20 by 20.
It's fireball range. He is currently in fireball range with
Yeah,
everyone
but
else.
so is everyone else. Yeah.
With everyone else.
So is everyone else.
So he comes in and
So anyway, I teleported to his daughter and started blasting.
he comes in and sits down and says, "Hello, my name is Winslow Cordy. I thank you for sending your message. I didn't know how I was going to get out of the city, and I'm glad you've made time to see me. Your message that you wanted to... You had some proposals for me. I'd like to discuss that."
Sounds good. Well, we've been able to offer safety and protection for you and your daughter. Are you looking to leave the city from here?
I was hoping to. We don't really have anything else here, and those men aren't going to leave us alone.
Well, we were planning on polishing off the blades anyway, so as soon as they're out of the way, it should be clear.
Yeah, I suppose I would, but I don't know what I'd do.
I mean, whatever you want.
With what you were doing for them, is that something you enjoy? You have quite a skill.
I like the academic aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
I like seeing what is possible. Not a big fan of corpses or the damage that they can do.
I examined some of your work on storage facilities.
Oh, yes.
And of course, as amongst our organization, united with a local church, we're thinking of maybe offering something with that for people that need to keep loved ones safe before trying to raise them. Perhaps you could aid in business venture there, where...
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Make this someone else's problem.
Yeah, that's my thought. I was like, oh wait, I could put this on somebody else. But obviously, the first priority is taking care of the blades, so that less need for the stringent hiding, because that's obviously the first priority. But that might be something.
Oh yeah, they're looking for you like a whole lot.
Well, what did you find out?
They're looking for him like a whole lot.
Okay.
By the way, I did recover.
This is so much of my work. Thank you.
Did you undo the numbers?
That was on the.
That was down there in his thing.
All right.
That was on the chalkboard.
So if anyone else comes behind and tries to figure it out,
They're going to be very confused.
Yeah. Which, if anything, is probably best with who's likely to come in behind.
It's like, man, this necromancer must be mad at math. Why? It says here he has something like 14 billion zombies.
guys, I think we should leave the game.
He says,
Which I dreadfully hope is wrong.
he says, yes, the only thing I'm really concerned about is there's so many corpses underneath in the sewers.
Yeah.
And they're all linked to this. And he pulls, like, with a flick of his wrist, an orb appears in his hand. You intend to deal with the balanced blades. This might help. And he hands it to you.
All right.
Speaking of the sewers, I go ahead and show my map and what we have mapped out. Now, we heard that their leader was often hidden somewhere in the sewers. Did any of your minions ever, I assume, given the research we were told about, you could see through them? Did you ever see a base down there with all of them hiding? All the undead?
He came to me a lot and gave me orders, but he didn't live down there. I did.
Oh. Well, the grapevine was wrong up on the surface. They thought he lived down there.
I mean, it's not surprising he spent a great deal of time down there. It would take incredibly skilled investigator to figure that out.
You wouldn't happen to know where he lives, would you?
No, I was kidnapped.
Yeah.
We did eventually figure that out.
Yeah. But we did not know how much you knew before then.
Well, it's interesting. So you were able to teleport out. How was he keeping you trapped down there?
It was woven into one of the spells that was the alarm.
And you don't just have the ability to spell magic?
I couldn't find the spell.
You don't have the ability to see magic?
You have to... can't...
As in, he's locked down there. They didn't bring him a spell scroll to teach him how to learn to spell magic.
No, he like... They took it from him. Like, he didn't have the spell. It wasn't... They took it out of his book.
Yeah.
So he may have known it at one time, but they definitely took it away from him. Because you can do that with wizards.
Yeah, you just be like, you can't have that anymore.
And
That's why wizards are jerks and encode their book.
And he would have been potentially in a spot that wouldn't have been easy to see it where they layered it.
Mm-hmm.
That too.
So, yeah, he was locked down there. Alright, so we need to figure out exactly how we're going to locate this herring gun.
Yeah, the only reason I knew I could escape is because one of you teleported into the area.
Oh, okay.
Once I realized that you guys could teleport in, that meant I could leave.
wait, did we get a confirmation that the boss is actually a herring gun? Like it's not a false out, right?
It is actually a herring gun.
Yeah.
You never know. People change their way they look all the time.
Sometimes they multiply, apparently. It's also, his name's Elwood Hall.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have that or not.
Sure I do. Yeah, Elwood Hall. Balance Blades leader, herring gun. Moving through the sewers and skilled at stealth.
Go figure.
Temperamental. Yeah, so it's like trying to pin down where this guy actually resides, or where we can at least locate him.
He probably doesn't know, but question him about any other leaders you knew about in the area, or that the herring gun might have talked about moving against, or wanted your zombies to do something to.
Oh, people of interest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no other leaders of the Balanced Blades. It's the only... in general, his job was to lock down the sewers for the Blades' private use. Basically.
We must have been very annoying to you.
Yeah, I felt really bad about almost killing one of you.
Yeah. Stupid flesh bubble.
Never doubt what you had to say. It's understandable.
I appreciate that.
The kind and caring doctor.
Yep, the doctor's here.
Totally not the maniacal murder machine. The
Nope.
doctor.
So you wanted to lock down the sewers for the Balance Blades' personal use. Okay. But we don't think that he actually resides down there. He just spends a lot of time
Come
in
to
the
the
sewers.
spot. Speak to him.
Yeah. Go and talk to him. Well, I wonder what he's been doing since you up and disappeared on him now.
My understanding was that the way that he got around was he would sneak into the sewers to go where he wanted to go and pop out, but he didn't actually live in them. He just told people that's where he lived.
And
I only know that because he popped in and out all the freaking time.
always from different.
How many did you, of the exits to the sewer, did you focus on? Did you, okay, on a map, did you just map the inside, or do we know where all these go?
He hasn't linked all of them to topside. He's got a couple that are.
Oh,
Is it
my
possible that one of these just goes right up into a building where he lives? Where he never has to go outside to get in there?
Could be. You could have made an additional sewer entrance somewhere.
It's like, I don't know, you have the orb now.
And what's-
Could you look through the eyes of the undead and poke them out?
I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to take an hour to...
Attune. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
You need to attune to it, and then it would be kind of a perception check.
Mm-hmm.
But we could both stir the crap out of you.
Huh?
Oh,
Bolster?
Oh, bolster. I've heard both.
both scare.
Oh,
Yeah.
No,
Me
no.
too.
I'm sorry, I slurred my words.
He's talking about buffing.
Yeah, we could buff a perception check real high if you did that tomorrow.
Can we? Can we really?
I mean, we can add a lot of dice to it, and he could maybe potent something good tomorrow.
Or today.
Oh, yeah.
Because I haven't done mine. Because 14 and 4. Not good.
14 and 4. Unfortunate.
But,
Hey, 14's pretty good. Don't knock 14.
yeah, that's a good Austin number.
That's a pretty good number, just in general.
Because that's what a D6 or D8 is your inspiration.
Yeah, D8, I'm pretty sure.
Ah, I'm woe today, anyways.
Whoa.
But, well, if we know he's constantly in there, well, we could either use the undead to watch for movement and see where he, if we can spot him as he's moving around, and we could also kind of finish the mapping to figure out if maybe he's got a particular entrance that's not exactly street visible.
Mm-hmm.
So, Adam, go ahead and write this down. It's Cordy's Corpse Controller, because I'm a fan of alliteration.
Cody's Coast, isn't your name Steve? Shut up.
No, his last name's Cordy. Yes, that's the orb. It is an attunement item. It allows you to link undead through it and control them, as well as see through their senses. Which means that if the corpse has blind sight, you get to use the corpse's blind sight as well with your perception checks. So it allows you to use your mentals with their perceptions, like their actual sensors.
Mhm.
It has 22 AC, and it has 30 HP. If destroyed, all undead linked to it are also destroyed. And any undead linked to it do not require daily renewal spells. So, like, you don't have to go and cast Raise Dead on them or Control Undead on them every day. They're just controlled by the magic item.
But theoretically have a singular weak point.
Yep.
So just tell them to rise up and start murdering civilians? Bring a lot of heat down on the Blades District?
Don't you think we care about the civilians once we're controlling it?
I don't suppose.
I feel like they'd be really thankful of the people who saved them from all the undead.
We'll call that plan like F.
For fantastic.
It's like, we'll see if we can take care of that. And it's like, we had considered doing false flag operations, but we're kind of in control of the show now,
Mm-hmm.
to some degree. So it's trying to figure out how to pin down Elwood and his boys.
It's like the herring gun goes through the sewers often. How often do the rest of the Balanced Blades gang go through the sewers?
Not very often. He doesn't really like people down there.
Yeah, okay.
Unless there's, like, an actual reason for them to be down there.
So now that we have the zombies and that, we could have pretty much free reign down there, except if we ran into them.
Yeah, pretty much. So we got that, and we got good old Doomstayer working on blasting powder. So
Mhm.
What did I say AC was?
22.
22. I suppose I could have copy-pasted it, but I didn't feel like it. Yay! Check it out. It's an orb. Orb.
Because why not have orb
Honestly,
and crystal and vial?
where's your knife?
I have knife.
Where's your knife?
I have bit of antler. I have
There are wands around here someplace.
sills for my bard. Yeah, no, there are ones right behind me. They're Harry Potter ones, though.
Too distinctive.
Sort of. To me, at least.
Oh, word of warning. As you got a high roll on it, if you try to link intelligent undead to it, there's a chance that they can take it from you and take over control of it, as well as any of the undead. I forgot you got a natural 20 and would know this information, as he didn't even know that the undead would be destroyed if broken. It's something you found out from his notes.
Can players make intelligent undead?
Not in the normal sense, but yeah, I mean, you can find rules
Yeah.
online of how to.
Okay.
And also, it's one of those things that, like, I gave you an item that allows you to control undead. There had to be rules for...
Oh,
I could also try and take over undead.
oh yeah, I guess
Yeah.
you could
You can...
yank other people's undead.
Yeah, it would be kind of similar to dispelling magic sort of roles.
So, yep. The next thing is really trying to pin down where the Herringon balanced blade boss is getting in and out of the sewers all the time. Trying to lead him back to where he actually resides. So yeah, and with the undead now under our control, we don't have to go around plugging stuff up, and we can finish mapping their sewers.
Mhm.
So that seems to be...
How effective were the plugs? Did they actually stop you, or could they just be pushed out easily from the inside and you just didn't get around to all of them?
It took some time.
Okay.
And I had to basically take over each one individually to do it because of the coordination required. And frankly, I didn't really care. I wasn't ordered to remove the plugs.
Can you give us any insight into the character of the man, as far as...
Not a visual description. I mean, Harrington is one thing, but I mean, not all Harrington look alike, of course.
Mm-hmm.
No, this one looks just like it. Oh, yeah, look at that. Okay. Where is he? Okay. So, he's taller.
Harrington can be medium sized.
Yeah, he's a medium size with black fur. Like, just pure black fur. Without any spots or stripes. Green.
Sticker up ears or floppy down ears?
They're mobile. His ears are very expressive.
As I sit there and individually move my ears.
Like that.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
He has a temper, but he's not proud. He has no he's a survivor.
So saying that yelling at him through the clouds probably won't get him off his game?
No. You might send him into a paranoid spiral if you know enough.
Quick, what's his mother's name?
But we're thinking still best to eliminate rather than convert.
I won't work with the man.
Then eliminate.
it seems like the balanced blades are just going to have to be one of those.
That's fine. Well, obviously, I mean, very clearly, if he's a survivor, then he could be brought over if we take out enough under. But if it turns out to be working with him or Winslow, then I think I'd rather work with Winslow. So.
Most of his men are pretty loyal.
Yeah, you don't subvert the actual leaders. You got to chop off the head, eat the corpse.
And there is a bit of a hierarchy there. I'm not sure who's next in line, but someone would try to take over. This might be a root and branch situation.
I do ask if you know of any other of their warehouses or hangouts that they may have had you station extra undead at. Because tell them the bar we know they mostly hang at, and if he knows any more.
Sorry, I was just...
Well,
the day that you guys came was the first time I'd seen sunlight in about 6 months.
But even as just to speculate, can you think of anything that might be a particular weakness of the gang that we could exploit?
They don't diversify as much as they ought.
So they're all the throwy boys?
They had to pull me out in to do this when they could find someone else.
Spartacus man?
Yes.
I kind of get up and slide over to him.
He kind of leans his head down to you.
With you taking care of you, have you gotten the girl art supplies?
No.
I just put a couple gold down. Can you make sure those are brought to her?
Yes, boss. Spartacus just kind of gives you a little nod, then turns and leaves the room.
Mm-hmm.
So if they don't diversify, we do know what
Well,
one of the casters looks like that's in the bar.
Yeah, and it's like that's pretty interesting. If they don't diversify as much, and we know basically whatever that one sorceress that you two came across, if they lose her, that's probably going to be they're not going to be able to easily replace her back.
Yeah. Assassination mission.
So it would at least be probably good course to know exactly where she lives.
Yeah.
But finding the leader is going to be the priority. But yeah, it would be also good to learn that, and she's probably much easier to find than he is.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Do we want to try to maybe kidnap her for information? I will hold this question until after the wizard who's been kidnapped before leaves. Because I say I can't think of any other questions for our gentleman here.
Yeah, and it's like, I think it's probably best to keep him safe at least until we've handled the blades.
I'd like to try working with him. But yeah, step one is safety.
And then we can let him make his decision after the fact, whether he wants to leave or if he wants to stay. We can set him up here.
Maybe set up a carriage ride over to the church to have the kid play out in the yard with Huxley.
No.
Not yet.
No.
This is not yet.
That is not a worthwhile risk.
And they know what she looks like.
Yeah, he's not going to let his kid out of his sight or leave this place where it's
Okay.
like safe.
Yeah, it's like they know what she looks like.
They've literally been locked in a dungeon for 6 months.
Yeah.
I mean, presumably
There's
they
a
took the spare room. They probably have that front room with the.
Yeah, there's a window.
So, yep, we're gonna have to start chipping away at the balance blades and then figure out what to do from there.
Okay, so what are you... Okay, so Winslow leaves.
Okay.
You were going to give Molly something to do.
Track down where that sorceress lives.
Yeah, that's probably what we want to do with her skills. Find out where the sorceress that works for the Balance Blades, where she lives.
Was Molly there for the...
No, she was outside.
Because it would have just...
Mary?
Yep.
What she look like?
Which one? The
The
sorceress?
Yeah, I also
Do I
describe
remember
her.
her well enough?
That was...
It wasn't that long ago. It was about a week.
Mm-hmm.
It was about 10 days ago.
A bit more because we passed a week, but also probably a relevant figure as they were one of the key ones in the chase, and the
Rogue was stabbing her. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was definitely drawing attention. Furthermore, he was in the room for longer, where
And he was
the
in
lack
a
of
high
vision kept
position
going
where
away.
You could see it. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, you probably have a decent idea of what she looks like.
Then yes, I'll do my best, put on her face, and say she looked like this, but taller. Tits.
Because you don't bother with them.
Absolutely not. I just put on her normal-sized face on my tiny body.
Yeah. Molly kind of gets forward and like looks at you pretty closely and goes, "Okay, I think I can find her." And then she flounces out of the room while she's taking off her jacket and turning it inside out.
Yeah, got a reversible.
And as she leaves, she lifts her hat off to you, gives a flick of her wrist, and it just changes colors, and she puts it back on.
Yes, Molly, I know your suit is better than mine. I had 5 gold at the time.
Yes, it just suits me so well. She closes the door and then like opens it and goes, "Your suit's dingy and you should feel bad about it."
We can get you a more updated style one if you need.
Maybe. I don't know.
As you know,
No,
nobody else besides her wears one.
Yeah, you also, because she was the one that told you to get that.
Yeah.
And literally she lied to you about what you needed to do in order to even have the suit that you do have.
Yeah, but she is also like the only other girl in the group, basically, besides Mother June, but she doesn't seem to care about fashion, nor is she my size.
Mother June is always impeccably dressed.
Yeah.
In the same, like, clerical robes.
No, she wears like dresses
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, and it's like I've got my priest robes, I've got a bunch of other fancy clothes, and I have a bunch of disguises.
Oh, yeah, you do have disguise kits, which are just full of clothes and
Yeah,
makeup.
and it's like I've got a ton of clothing. But
Remember when we thought the disguise were gonna save Yank and Jake?
wow,
I mean, if you had gotten away, it would have certainly helped.
they wouldn't have known who you were, but you got caught. Other thing, since potentially getting that staff of the woodlands.
Mm-hmm.
Just another thing that we need to be aware of is that Abbott still owes like 14,000 gold
To his wife.
to his wife.
That sounds like an Abbott problem.
Yeah.
I mean, that's for y'all to figure out.
Mm.
Okay, so, I mean, we could start going through what we do for the day, but if you have any actual plans, I would like to save it till next time so we can start on that, because we got about 10 minutes.
I don't know, is exploring, mapping the rest of the sewer with...
Well, you're
Austin?
trying to go up and find out where the doors lead, right?
Yeah.
That's actual something.
Yeah, okay.
And that also doesn't feel like a bad thing from... I mean, I feel like I should be involved, whether down there or above, with the orb.
Okay, then we will just take care of that next time. So, like, comment, subscribe, stick around for the exciting Sewers Part 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Let's be fair, that's sewers like part 5.
So, thank you so much for joining us. Bye.